Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English with Ease, where learning English is easy, fun, and real. I'm Sarah, your English teacher.
And I'm Alvin. Hello, Sarah, and hello to all our listeners from the US, Canada, UK, Europe, and everywhere around the world.
Today, Alvin, we are going to do something different, something personal, something that touches all of us, but we rarely talk about.
Oh, really? And what's that, Sarah?
We're going to talk about your life, your daily experiences, feelings, challenges, memories, mistakes, and even dreams.
That sounds exciting and a little scary. Talking about my life in English?
That's okay to feel nervous. Most people can talk about movies, hobbies, or food, but when it comes to themselves, it becomes difficult.
I know. I've felt that. I want to speak, but the words just don't come out.
Exactly. But today, we will change that. By the end of this conversation, you will be able to talk about your life comfortably in English, and our listeners too.
Perfect.
But first, Alvin, a small favor for our listeners.
Yes. Listeners, if you enjoy learning English with us, please click subscribe, like this video, and share it with friends. Every share helps us grow and reach more learners.
Thank you so much. Now, let's start our conversation. Alvin, let's start simple. How are you feeling today?
I feel curious, excited, and a little nervous.
Nervous? Why?
Because we're talking about life. That's personal.
That's okay. Talking about your life is personal, but it can also be fun. We'll make it simple.
All right, I'm ready.
First, tell me, where are you from, Alvin?
I'm from Canada. And you, Sarah?
I'm from the United States.
Two different countries, same English language.
Exactly. And do you live in a city or a small town?
I live in a small town, quiet, peaceful, relaxing.
And I live in a big city. Busy, noisy, exciting, but I love it.
Small town, big city, very different lives.
Yes, but every life, big or small, has stories worth sharing. Let's talk about the past year. Alvin, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you look back?
Time. It went by so fast.
I feel the same. January feels like yesterday, but it's already a year ago.
I remember New Year's Day last year. I was with my family, we had a big dinner, and suddenly the year passed.
Reflection is important. Thinking about the past helps us understand ourselves and grow.
I worked a lot, traveled a bit, spent time with friends.
That's wonderful. And I spent more time with friends, tried new activities, and learned to relax.
Talking about life in English is easier with simple sentences. I traveled. I learned. I spent time with friends.
Absolutely. Short, clear sentences work best. Alvin, tell me one big thing you did last year.
I started a new hobby. I learned to play the guitar.
Amazing! How was it at first?
Difficult. My fingers hurt, but I practiced every week.
Dedication is important. And me, I visited my sister in Canada. Mountains, lakes, and beautiful scenery everywhere.
Did you see any wild animals?
A moose. Not a bear, thankfully.
That sounds like an amazing adventure.
Yes, sharing experiences in English makes learning easier. It's storytelling, not just words. How have you changed this year, Alvin?
I learned that rest is productive. Before, I felt guilty if I rested. Now, I understand that rest helps me work better.
That's a very powerful lesson.
And you, Sarah?
I've learned to appreciate my friends more. Last year was hard sometimes. I felt alone, but my friends helped me through difficult moments.
True. Friends are our second family.
Life teaches us through experiences, good and bad. Alvin, let's continue talking about life. Last time we touched on hobbies and challenges, but there's so much more to share. Life is full of small moments, experiences, and lessons that make us who we are.
You're right, Sarah. Sometimes the smallest moments teach us the biggest lessons.
Exactly. For example, even a simple walk in the park or a conversation with a friend can change your perspective.
True, like last month, I was feeling stressed, and I decided to go for a long walk. Just walking outside and listening to music, it cleared my mind completely.
That's wonderful. That's why we often say, take time for yourself. Self-care is important, especially for English learners who are practicing a new language.
I agree. And it also gives me time to think in English, not just translate from my native language.
That's a very good point. Thinking in English is a big step in becoming fluent.
And I try to speak about my day in English every evening, even if it's just a few sentences. It helps a lot.
Absolutely. Speaking about daily life is a great practice. Let's do a short exercise now. Alvin, describe your typical morning in English, as if you are telling a friend.
Okay, I wake up at 7 a.m. I brush my teeth and take a shower. Then I make tea and eat breakfast. After that, I check my emails and start my work.
Perfect. Very clear and simple sentences. That's exactly how we want our listeners to practice. Short, natural sentences make communication easier.
Sometimes I try to add feelings too. For example, I feel happy when I drink my morning tea, or I feel tired after waking up.
Excellent. Adding feelings makes your English more natural and expressive.
Sarah, can we talk about mistakes too? Because sometimes I make mistakes and it's frustrating.
Of course, mistakes are part of learning. In fact, the more mistakes you make, the faster you improve. Every mistake is a lesson.
That's good to hear. I used to be afraid of speaking because of mistakes, but now I feel more confident.
Confidence is key. And listeners, remember this too. Don't wait for perfect English to speak. Speak with what you know. Progress comes from practice.
Yes, Sarah. And sometimes I write short sentences about my day in a notebook. It helps me remember new words and phrases.
Writing is a great idea. Let's do a small practice for our listeners. Say, yesterday I, and finish the sentence with what you did. For example, yesterday I cooked dinner, or yesterday I walked in the park.
I love this. Short sentences, practicing past simple, and adding daily life experiences.
Exactly. And we can also include present perfect for experiences. For example, I have tried sushi, or I have met many interesting people.
Present perfect connects the past with the present. It's very useful for talking about life experiences.
Let's combine them. Alvin, tell me something you did last year using past simple and something you have done this year using present perfect.
Okay, last year I traveled to the mountains. It was beautiful. This year I have learned to play the guitar.
Wonderful. That's perfect practice for listeners.
Sarah, can we also talk about feelings when describing experiences? Because sometimes I don't know how to say emotions in English.
Definitely. Feelings are important. For example, you can say, I felt excited, I felt nervous, I felt proud, or I felt surprised.
So I could say, I felt nervous before my first guitar lesson, but I felt proud after learning my first song.
Exactly, Alvin. That's a very natural way to express experiences and feelings.
I like that. And listeners can try this too. Write or speak about your day, including what you did and how you felt.
Yes, and small steps like this every day will make a big difference over time.
Sarah, what about challenges? How do we speak about difficult moments in English naturally?
Good question. Use simple phrases. I had a difficult day, I faced a challenge, it was hard, but I learned something.
For example, I could say, I had a busy week, but I learned to manage my time better.
Perfect. And it's even better if you add a feeling. I had a busy week, I felt tired, but I learned to manage my time better.
That sounds very natural.
Another tip is to describe what you learned or how you changed. For example, I learned that resting is important, or I have become more patient this year.
That's great advice. English becomes more real and personal when you include lessons and reflections.
Exactly. Life stories, feelings, and reflections are what make conversations meaningful.
Sarah, can we also talk about future plans? I sometimes struggle with will and going to.
Absolutely. For example, next year I will travel to the beach, or I am going to try new hobbies.
Or, I will spend more time with my family, or I am going to practice English every day.
Perfect. Simple future sentences help you express plans and dreams.
And listeners, try mixing past, present, and future. Last year, I traveled. This year, I have learned guitar. Next year, I will visit new places.
Amazing. That's exactly how you can talk about your life fluently in English.
Sarah, one last thing. How do we make our conversations more interesting for listeners?
Storytelling includes small details, feelings, challenges, and lessons. Don't just say what happened, say how you felt, what you learned, and what you hope for next.
For example, last year I traveled to the mountains. I felt amazed by the scenery. I learned to appreciate nature. Next year, I will explore more places.
Beautiful, Alvin. That's exactly how listeners will learn and enjoy English naturally.
I hope our listeners are practicing this every day. Even small efforts make a huge difference.
That's right. And remember, mistakes are welcome, feelings are important, and short, clear sentences are best.
Sarah, I think this has been a very long and useful discussion. Listeners will learn a lot from this.
Sarah, I think this has been a very long and useful discussion. Listeners will learn a lot from this.
Listeners, don't forget, practice every day, reflect on your life, and share your stories.
And comment below, what was the biggest lesson you learned last year? Or what are your plans for the next year?
Use past simple, present perfect, or future tense. Every sentence helps you improve.
Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep speaking English.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye!